Hi there, welcome to this video. So in this session, we want to discuss standard deviation, mathematics paper 2. Okay, I've already made a video where I explained about how to find the standard deviation using the table method. But for this particular session, I want to explain to you a different method, the direct method. Okay, we've noticed that there are some students that would want to use the direct method. So this is a video for you. Okay, so let's see how you can find the standard deviation using the direct method. So let's start. So we have a frequency distribution table here. Okay, we have some height and the frequencies. Actually, this is the same example I used in the previous video. Okay. Yeah, so it says calculate the standard deviation. 6 marks. Remember, this is statistics, one of the topics that you don't want to miss out on. So find the standard deviation, 6 marks here. What are we supposed to do using the direct method? So let's okay. So the first thing that we notice here is the type of data. So this type of data is called grouped data. Okay. So this is grouped data because we can see that we have some class intervals here. Okay. So we have some class intervals. So the first thing that we need to do is find the midpoint. So we need to find the midpoint of each class. So let's first of all find the midpoint of each class. And I explained to you in the previous video how to find the midpoint of each class. You simply add the boundaries, then you divide by 2. So 0 plus 4, then you divide by 2. That's a midpoint. So 0 plus 4, that is 4 divided by 2, you will get 2. So the midpoint here is 2. 4 plus 8, 12. Divided by 2, 6. 8 plus 12, 20. Divided by 2, we get 10. We should confirm here that we'll get 14. Because when we add, that's 28 divided by 2, it's 14. Confirm that we get 18 here, and confirm that we get 22, and we'll get 26 here. You should confirm, because when you add this plus that, you divide by 2 to give you 18. This plus that, you divide by 2 to give you 22, just like that. Now that we have our midpoint, the next thing that we need to do is we need to find the mean. Okay, we need to find the mean. Remember the symbol for the mean? We used X bar for the mean. So mean. How do we find the mean? Very easy. First of all, you know that mean actually is equal to summation of fx over summation of f. Okay? Now let's proceed and explain what this means. So what you do is you multiply the frequency and x. This is x. The midpoint is x. So you multiply the frequency and x. This times that one. This times that one. This times that one. Then you add everything. Okay? So we start. So 2 times 2. So it will be 2 multiplied by 2 plus 11 multiplied by 6 plus 20 multiplied by 10 plus you add throughout. 24 multiplied by 14 plus 31. You see 31 multiplied by 18. Let me create some space. Okay, plus 8 multiplied by 22 plus 4 multiplied by 26. Then once you multiply and add them throughout, you need to divide by the total frequency. So total frequency simply means you add all these. So let me find my total frequency. I need to add all these numbers here. So 2 plus 11 plus 20 plus 24 plus 8 plus 4. 2 plus 11 plus 20 plus 24 plus 31. I missed 31. Plus 8 plus 4. Okay, I'm getting 100. So this is the total frequency, meaning I'll divide throughout everything by 100. Like that. Then how do we get the mean here? We need to multiply these, add, then we divide by 100. So how do you multiply this? You need to be very careful with your calculator. Okay, don't make mistakes here, because students easily make mistakes here. So just do this. 2, the same way you're seeing it on the board there. That's how you should write it. So 2, you open the brackets as well. So 2 multiplied by 2 plus 11 multiplied by 6. You should write like this throughout for every multiplication here. Then plus, we continue, plus 24 multiplied by 14 plus 31 multiplied by 18 plus 8 multiplied by 22 plus 4 multiplied by 26. Okay, so I'm getting, when I multiply everything here, I'm getting 1444. Then everything should be divided by 100 like this. Okay, so you can see that our mean actually, so this divided by 100, our mean will be 14.44. So this is the mean. Okay, now what do we do with the mean? So this is now where we start our work. Let's find the standard deviation now. So SD, standard deviation, is equal to, so this is what I want you to do. You're going to say it's equal to the square root. Okay, so the first step was finding the mean. So the square root of what? This is what you do. Okay, so what you're going to do is, you're going to get the frequency, then you start multiplying it by the square of the x's. Meaning, you square these terms, then you multiply them by its corresponding frequency. So this is what I mean. So I'm going to start. So 2, this one, multiplies this squared. So it multiplies 2 squared, like that. Then you add throughout. So plus 11 times 6 squared, plus 20 times 10 squared, plus 24 times 14 squared. Okay. Then plus, so we are here, plus 31 times 18 squared, plus 8 times 22 squared, plus 4 times 26 squared. Okay, we are done. Then we divide everything here by the total frequency. Remember the total frequency, 100. Now, where do we put our mean? So this is where the mean will do its job. Okay? So once we do this, whatever we do here, we shall say minus mean squared. So minus 14, this is the mean, 14.44 squared. Then once we finish up with this, then that is our standard deviation. That's all. So standard deviation will be equal to, so we need to be very careful here. You write the same way you're seeing it here. So you start like this, 2 multiplied by 2 squared, plus 11 multiplied by 6 squared. You write like this. You see how I'm writing? Like that. Okay, then plus 20 multiplied by 10 squared, plus 24 multiplied by 14 squared, plus 31 multiplied by 18 squared, plus 8 multiplied by 22 squared, plus 4 multiplied by 26 squared. Okay, so this is where we end with our multiplication on top. Then we're going to say equals. So when I say equals, it's giving me something like this. Then I divide this value by 100. Do not erase this on your calculator. Just say divided by. Just do this. So it knows that this is the answer. So it will just say answer divided by 100. So this is what we get. Then again, do not erase this. Okay? Just say minus. Minus what? Remember, we are saying minus mean squared. Do not erase this. So I shall say minus, you put brackets like the same way we are seeing it. Minus 14.44 squared. Like this. Okay? Then it will give you something that looks like this. So it means that overall inside there now, we've calculated this 28.7664. Then what do? We just need to find the square root of this value. Then therefore, our standard deviation, we find the square root of this value. Our standard deviation is, so then you should report your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So my standard deviation correct to 3 significant figures is 5.36. So this is the answer, and that's how you'd find the standard deviation using direct method. Okay, just a quick one, just to do a review, just a quick one. So first of all, understand the type of data you have. The type of data here is grouped, but you have classes here. Sometimes, remember I said classes can be given like this. Okay? You should still treat this as a class and find the midpoint. You still add this to this one, then you divide by 2. Once you get the mid values, the midpoint, then you need to find the mean. Okay? You need to find the mean. So how do you find the mean? Very easy. You get the midpoint, you multiply by the frequency. So you're going to say this times this, 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 just like that. Then you're going to add. This is what we did here. Then once you add, you need to divide by the total F, total frequency. So this is the total frequency here, which we got as 100 here. Okay? You're going to divide. This is exactly what I did here. Once you divide, you get your mean. It's now time to find the standard deviation. How do you find the standard deviation? We said, what you now do is, the midpoints that you got here, okay? The midpoints that you got here, you need to start squaring them, okay? So you square this midpoint, you multiply by the frequency. Square this, you multiply by the frequency. Square this, you multiply by the frequency throughout. This is what I did, you can see. This squared multiplied by its frequency, this squared multiplied by its frequency. You continue doing your job like that. Once you are done with squaring each and multiplying by a frequency, you divide by total F again. So this is what we did. We divide by total F, then minus mean squared. So remember, the mean should now do its job. What is the mean doing? You subtract here, minus mean squared, like that. Then everything should be under the square root. Then you should be very careful on how you plug in the values. Do the same way I was doing it, okay? Yeah, you should do it the same way I was doing it. So once you figure out, you just type this same thing that you're seeing on your calculator. So once you do this, you're going to get this value. By the way, we call this value inside the variance. Maybe if the examiner asks you what is the variance, you just say this is the variance. Okay, but anyway, so once you find this value inside there, you just need to find the square root and report your answer to 3 significant figures. That's how you use this method. I think it's a bit shorter than the previous method that I used. Otherwise, this is where we end for this particular session. Bye-bye.